You may have been wondering what this draped device was here. This is the Xbox. And so, for the first time, let me now unveil Xbox.
Let's look at the funk.
I love the original Xbox. This fat hunk of plastic is one of my earliest gaming experiences and has led to some of my most memorable moments in gaming. I remember playing Half-Life 2 for the first time, battling my dad in Red Faction 2, booting up Tony Hawk's Underground and seeing that iconic intro, and fighting the Flood for the first time in Halo Combat Evolved. To this day, it's probably my favorite console of all time, and it's one that I actually collect for. As of the creation of this video, I'm currently sitting at almost 500 complete in-box games. But I don't just collect games for the console. I love finding memorabilia, peripherals, demo discs, strategy guides, really anything original Xbox related. I even helped fund a book on Kickstarter about the original Xbox that celebrated its history, which is a very good read should you ever get the chance to check it out. Even when I take off my ever so stylish rose-tinted glasses, I would still consider this console to be one of the best to ever do it. Speaking of memorabilia, I actually got lucky and I hit a gold mine. I work at a comic book collectible, overall kinda nerdy store, and during one of my shifts, somebody brought in almost the entire original Xbox run of official Xbox magazine. They were only missing like 2 issues, but otherwise they had every single issue along with the demo disc in the original sleeve. On the outside I was, cool as ever, giving them a fair trade for their money. But the second they walked out the door, I practically fell to my hands and knees begging the manager to let me just buy all of them right then and there. Sometime later, I took some of those demo discs and installed them on my modded Xbox. And today, I'd like to just take a look at a couple of them and reminisce about the good old days, even though I would have been like 2 when these would have actually come out. Today, we'll be looking at Demo Disc 29 and Demo Disc 42. These OXM demo discs served as fun little treats that you would get with your magazine. Not only did they, of course, have demos for upcoming games, but they also would have bonus save files and action replay codes, so you could have a little fun with the games you already own. Some of them even included brand new missions and maps for existing games. For example, Demo Disc 29 came with a mission for Splinter Cell that would become accessible after you downloaded it in the original game. On top of demos and bonus saves, these demo discs would also come with trailers for new games. Sometimes they were exclusive trailers, sometimes they had behind the scenes content, and other times they were ads for movies or shows. And of course, a lot of them just ooze that 2000s vibe. For the first disc, disc number 29, the featured game was Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden actually got a special thanks in the credits due to the demo just being that solid. I started by watching all the videos on the disc. There wasn't really too many, so I didn't have much to go through. The first one was for Hitman Contracts, which went fucking crazy with these cloth effects. His suit has no reason to be doing all that, let's be real. I then watched the video for NBA Ballers, and it was standard fare except for this moment towards the end of it.
Behind the Shizzle, a mockumentary behind the scenes look at the collection of talent making NBA Ballers.
Finally, it was time for the demos. I started with Top Spin as it was the one I was least familiar with. The demo itself was very limited, and I got my ass handed to me faster than I'd like to admit. It's okay though, because tennis is a stupid, dumb, bad, stupid game for dumb, stupid, bad, mean people. I'm not coping, you're coping. Next, I played ESPN Major League Baseball 2004 and... Next, I played Tenchu Return from Darkness. This game is actually a port of the PS2 version titled Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. The intro cutscene is very fun, as it was made during the period where they really didn't have 3D fully figured out yet, leading to models still looking a little jank. At the same time, that gives it a campy charm that genuinely got me a little excited to play the game, I can't lie. So how was this game? Dark! I'm not sure if my brightness settings were just bad, but I could not see shit in this game. Should have called this Return to Darkness because I can't find my way out of it. I eventually died because of combat that felt strange and decided that that would be a good place to end it. But now, it was time for the main attraction, Ninja Gaiden. Arguably one of the standout titles on the original Xbox and a staple of the action-adventure genre at the time. I had never played it before and was excited to actually try it out for myself. And once I got used to the controls, I realized why it was so well received. There's some sort of itch I didn't know I had that this game scratches perfectly. Everything just feels right. Movement is solid, combat is simple with the ability to be complex, and the graphics are still pretty good even by today's standards. The only real drawback is the difficulty. But stop, wait, before you type an actually comment, I know Ninja Gaiden is supposed to be hard. I played the NES title a couple times myself. I just personally do not like extremely difficult games. Not that this game is as bad as, say, Dark Souls, but I'll just let this clip play for itself. See this little potion right here? I thought that this actually, fully restored your health, because I can't read apparently. And that's the disc! Honestly, a neat little bonus to anyone who subscribed to the magazine. I know I'd be happy with this if I had gotten it in the mail myself. But now let's take a look at disc number 42. The featured game this time around was Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, My Beloved. But if you don't look at the cover, you'd think it was Unreal Championship 2 The Leandry Conflict, considering this disc has a full section dedicated to that game in particular. This time around, there are no bonus saves on the disc. Instead, we have about 30 minutes of trailers, 4 demos, and an exclusive offer for Gamefly, which is still around somehow. The first trailer on the list is for Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. As good as it is, all it does is remind me of how hot Sam Fisher's voice is in the earlier games. Think Sojiro from Persona 5, but as a secret government agent. The other game trailer is for a game called Iron Phoenix, which looks to be a 16-person arena brawler for the original Xbox. I'm gonna be honest in that it looks impressive for the time, but I just am not interested at all in playing it. The last video in the trailers section is not a trailer at all, but a PSA for Truth, the anti-smoking agency. The PSA was part of their American Legacy campaign, but does not seem to exist anywhere on YouTube. Until today on my second channel! It's not really that interesting, and like most PSAs, is kinda stupid, as it just consists of a bunch of guys beating up a filing cabinet labeled tobacco documents until the only girl there walks over and opens it with no problem. There's no words or anything, just music. I don't get it, and frankly, I'm so frustrated about it that the only solution I can think of is to chain smoke. Next are 2 demonstrations for Pariah and Fight Night Round 2. The Pariah video isn't really super exciting in my opinion, as despite it having a level editor, it just looks like it's trying to be Halo and sucking in the process. I mean, look at how lame this rocket launcher shot is. 3 guys and one of them is just left completely unfazed? That's just kinda sad, I can't lie. As for the other video, this is where it gets a little juicy. We meet Kudo Tsunoda, an eccentric EA developer who tells us all about how new and exciting Fight Night Round 2 is. Now this guy himself is quite the character, but would you believe me if I told you that you've likely seen him before if you're invested in internet culture? Well here, take a look at this clip.
You ever wonder what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like? Well, bam! There it is.
That guy right there? That's Kudo. The guy who dresses like the biggest playa of 2005 would go on to be the creative director for the Kinect. Because of him, we know what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like. And that's special. As for the rest of the video, nothing of note happens besides him knocking us the fuck out at the end of it. There is another demonstration, but it's under the Unreal Championship 2 section, aka what we'll be looking at next. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have no desire to play Unreal Championship 2. Even after watching the trailer, character bios, and the demonstration, I just don't think it looks fun. For being an arena shooter, it takes away some of the basics of an arena shooter. I want to be able to find weapons around the map and have each weapon feel substantial. As soon as they showed off how you would pick a class to start your match, I kinda lost interest. I also just don't like the overall look of the game. The character bios threw me for a loop because the first two are obviously Egyptian themed, and then they just show a guy who looks like he's straight out of Warhammer 40k. And watching the demonstration, it doesn't seem to have a unique theme and just kinda looks painfully mid-2000s. Plus, the icing on the cake for all of this is the fact that the demo included on the disc only works for Xbox Live, and well, we all know how that turned out. Speaking of demos, let's get into them! I started off with Worms 3D because frankly, I just don't have much faith in this one. Needless to say, I was correct in my assumption. Worms just feels wrong in 3D. Something about the entire experience does not click in the same way traditional Worms gameplay does. It is the same basic concept: you use weapons to blow worms off the map or kill them, but trying to put that formula into 3D, paired with unintuitive controls, leads to a very frustrating experience. Thankfully, the next demo was a bit more interesting. Conquer Live and Reloaded gets a demo on this disc that lets you play through a part of the army chapter. While I don't like how they tried to modernize the graphics, this isn't a bad demo by any means. That being said, it is literally just Conker's Bad Fur Day, so of course it's a good demo. You play up until the part where you kill the guy in the chair, and then the demo ends. It is a short but sweet little taste of a game that had already existed for multiple years, but now has an uglier version on the original Xbox. Woohoo! The final demo I played was for Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I love the original Splinter Cell trilogy. They are some of the best stealth games ever and really make you feel like an international super secret agent spy man. That being said, however, Chaos Theory is my least favorite out of the original three. While it is still an incredible game and my nitpicks are just that, nitpicks, I would rather play the original or Pandora tomorrow. After getting absolutely mogged by Sam in the main menu, the demo has you taking on the first mission of the game and really shows off how far the series has come since its inception. The lighting looks incredible for the time, and the AI is actually intelligent, or at least intelligent enough. Shooting out light fixtures and methodically eliminating guards has never been more fun. And even though some of the 3D models are questionable at best, the game itself genuinely looks very nice for 2005. Obviously, people were focused on the upcoming consoles at this time, but a lot of people forget the great leaps being made for the 6th generation of consoles. Despite all of the praise, however, I did not finish this demo. That's because my game froze before I got the chance. So, yeah. Now, believe it or not, there is actually one more demo on this disc. See, a lot of these OXM magazine discs would advertise a hidden demo or feature that you could find using clues and hints. Honestly, a really cool feature that I wish was utilized more. In this case, entering black, back, A, left, A, right, down, B, A, right, B, up, B, B, A, start, black, while holding the left trigger would bring up a secret demo for MTV Music Maker 3, This is the Remix. This game is essentially a music editing software for your Xbox. You get samples of songs from various artists, as well as what I assume to be some original loops to use, and can place them in a track. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know enough about music editing to say how comprehensive this software is, but it seems like you can upload your own music files in the full version and save your remix tracks. I'm sure some aspiring DJs in the mid-2000s lost their fucking minds at this release. I made a super quick and lame remix of From the Church to the Palace by Snoop Dogg, but I cannot play it here as they would destroy my video. Check my second channel if you want to hear it. So that's just a small look into the weird world of OXM demo discs. I love looking through these as it provides a time capsule of that era and always has something interesting to play, download, or learn about when it comes to games at that time. Sure, nowadays you can just find all the info you want about something online or download the latest DLC or save file for a game off of Steam, but there's something special about all of it coming from these little packets of gaming info. If you want to see more dives like this, let me know down below. I'd love to do something like this again and see what we can uncover. Thanks for watching.